Okay, so get your code looking just like this. Go ahead and pause. We'll wait for you, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now you'll notice one thing, especially those of you who've done some coding before, that I've repeated all this code. I've repeated in two different places. If you can keep from repeating code, you will make your code much more efficient. So I'm going to show you how using something called a function where we do not have to repeat code. A function in Scratch is down here. It's called a myblocks. It's where you create your own special code. So I'm going to click on myblocks, and you'll see up here, myblocks, make a block. Click on that button, and it's asking you for a block name, and your first block you're going to make is called move underscore loop. Move loop. Okay, don't forget that underscore. All right, so here we have move loop, and I'm going to drag it down here so we can kind of work with it. Okay, move this guy over here a little bit. Okay, what are we going to have in move loop? We are going to have the simple movement of one of our cells. Okay, and what's going on in a simple movement? It's the forever block with the move speed steps and on edge bounce. So I'm going to grab this guy, I'm going to right click him, and I'm going to duplicate him, and I'm going to drag him over here. So we've now just created, go ahead and stop this guy, a move block, and it's called move loop. Okay, now the other code that was repeated is this go to random position and point in direction. That's repeated in two places. So I'm going to create another myBlock. Go to myBlocks, click on make a block, and we're going to call this one start location, S-T-A-R-T underscore, don't forget the underscore, location. Okay, and I'm going to click OK, and now we have start location. Now you'll notice here, in both cases, these myBlocks, the first one you see, it says define start location, define move loop. And underneath, I've written the definition of what do I mean by a move loop. Well, I mean I want it to loop forever, move 3 steps, if on edge bounce. What about start location? The same sort of thing. I'm going to go to a random position, and I'm going to point in this random direction. So I'm going to grab a duplicate of this by right-clicking on it, duplicate, and I'm going to drag it down here. But now I'm only interested in the first 2 parts of this. So I'm going to go ahead over here and stop the moving guy, and I'm going to take this forever part and I'm going to throw that away. Okay? Because all I want is it to go to a random position and point in a random direction. That's the start location. The move loop has the forever move speed if on edge bounce. So now we have our 2 myBlocks, our 2 functions. Where do we want to use those guys? We want to use those guys where the old code was. So let's scroll up a little bit. Okay, so the first place we see where we can use it, here is the move. Okay, so I'm going to take this move, right, and I'm going to throw it away, and I'm going to replace it with the move loop. Okay, now look what's just above it. that is the go to a random position point in a random direction. I'm going to pull this away from here just by pulling it straight down. I'm then going to pull the move loop down. Whoop, pull it down, thank you. And I'm going to push this off to the side. And it's going to go away. And I'm going to bring my start location right in here. But instead of putting it down at the bottom, I'm going to move it up here above the repeat 10 times. Okay, and I'm going to move the move loop down here to the bottom. So your code is now going to look like this under the green flag. I'm going to do the same thing over here, and in this case you have the start location, and down here you have the move loop. I'm going to get rid of both of those guys, both of those chunks of code, and I'm going to move over the start location and the move loop. Look how much cleaner that looks. So now we have our start location definition, our move loop definition, and it really looks a lot cleaner. And you guys built it that way. Okay, let's run it. Let's make sure it works. You ready? Here we go. Green flag. Go. Yeah. There it goes. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.